Division with remainders. The text that we will be covering today is grade 4, Number and Operations. The lesson objectives is the student will solve with fluency 1 and 2-step problems involving multiplication and division, including interpreting remainders. This will be taught through a podcast. The student will take a quiz of 10 questions and successfully score a minimum of 80% accuracy. Our vocabulary is dividend, a number to be divided by another number. Divisor, a number that you will divide by. Quotient, the amount received after dividing two numbers. Remainder is the number that is left over. Applying the vocabulary. Here is 257 is our dividend, which is our total. 6 is the divisor because we will be dividing 6 groups into 257. 42 is our quotient, which is how many are in each group. 5 is our remainder because it is what is left over. So our start question is, Valerie had a jug that contained 128 fluid ounces of salsa to put into bowls at a restaurant. She filled each bowl with 6 fluid ounces of salsa until there was not enough salsa left in the jug to completely fill another bowl. How many fluid ounces of salsa were left in the jug?
Today we will be solving a division problem with a remainder. We will be solving with manipulatives. So our first problem, Miranda had 20 cookies for her party. She distributed them to each of her 8 guests equally. How many cookies did each friend get? Okay, so let's pretend that these are our cookies. We have 20 cookies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We want to see how many cookies each friend will get. Let's give 1 cookie to each friend and see how many we have left to give. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 12 cookies left to give to each friend. So let's give each friend 1 more and see how many we have left to give. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now we have 4 cookies remaining, and each friend got 2 each. And there are 4 remaining, so that is not enough to give each friend another cookie. Therefore, each friend receives 2 cookies. Another method we are going to use today is solving by drawing pictures. There are 58 party favors and 9 children. How many party favors would each child get if they were divided equally among them? So there are 58 party favors. Let's make 9 circles for each child. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Let's give each friend 5 to see how many we have left over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want 58 party favors. So let's count how many we have so far. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So 58 minus 45 gives us 14 remaining. So let's give each friend one more and see how many we have left over. So let's add one more party favor to each friend. So now let's count how many party favors we have total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. And now remember, we have 58 party favors and we just counted 54. So 58 minus 54 gives us 4 party favors remaining. And that is not enough to give everyone one more equally. So therefore, each child has 6 party favors each.
Okay, we're going to do an example division problem, but before we begin, let's go over our mnemonic. The mnemonic we're going to be using is, does McDonald's serve burgers? Now, the D in does stands for divide. The M in McDonald's stands for multiply. The S in serve stands for subtract. And the B in burgers stands for bring down. We're going to use an arrow for that. Okay, so now we're going to do an example problem. And our problem here is going to be 257 divided by 6. So I'm going to write this problem first by writing 6, and then we're going to draw our division house. I'm going to write 257 in our division house here. 6 is my divisor, and 257 is my dividend. First, I'm going to start by seeing if 6 will divide into 2, because that is our first step, which is division. Will 6 go into 2 without going over? It will not. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our next number over. I'm going to see if 6 can go into 25 without going over. Let's see. 6 will go into 25 without going over because I know that 6 will go into 25 4 times. Our next step is multiply. So I'm going to multiply 6 times 4. 6 times 4 is 24. Now I'm ready for my next step, which is to subtract. 25 minus 24 is 1. Now I'm ready for my next step, which is to bring down. I'm going to draw my arrow, and I'm going to bring down 7. Now, how many times will 6 go into 17? Because I'm ready to start over. The first step is to divide. So how many times will 6 go into 17? Let's see. I know that 6 times 2 is 12. And I also know that 6 times 3 is 18, but that's too much because that will go over 17. So let's stick with 6 times 2 because my next step is to multiply. I'm going to write a 2 up here, and then we're ready to multiply. So 6 times 2 is 12. Now I'm ready for my next step, which is to subtract. I'm going to subtract 17 minus 12. 7 minus 2 is 5. 1 minus 1 is 0. Now, my next step is to bring down, but I don't have any numbers to bring down. Also, 6 will not go into 5 evenly without going means that I have 5 left over. Therefore, our answer is 42 with a remainder of 5.
So now let's take a look at our STAR question that we reviewed at the beginning. Valerie had a jug that contained 128 fluid ounces of salsa to put into bowls at a restaurant. She filled each bowl with 6 fluid ounces of salsa until there was not enough salsa left in the jug to completely fill another bowl. How many fluid ounces of salsa were left in the jug? Okay, so let's solve this problem by solving to draw a picture. Let's draw our 128 fluid ounces in our jug. And then let's draw our bowls with 6 fluid ounces until there isn't enough salsa left to completely fill another bowl. And I'm going to draw about 20. So these are our 6 fluid ounces in here. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20 bowls times 6 fluid ounces in each. So that is 120 fluid ounces that gives us. And remember, we have 128. So let's add one more bowl of 6 fluid ounces. So 120 plus 6 gives us 126. So 128 minus 126, 8 minus 6 is 2. All right, so that leaves us with 2 fluid ounces left over. And our answer is J, 2 fluid ounces.
Okay, now we're going to look at our STAR question again using another method, using the long division method. And we're going to use our mnemonic. So, our mnemonic that we used earlier was does McDonald's serve burgers? Okay, now remember, whenever you're taking your STAR test, you can use this mnemonic while taking it. You can write this down right under your problem, and you can refer to it as you're working out your problem. Okay, now let's review what each letter means and symbolizes. Okay, the D in does stands for division. The M in McDonald's stands for multiplication. The S in serve stands for subtraction. And the B in burgers stands for bring down. I'm going to use the arrow again to symbolize that. Okay, so we're going to read our question one more time. Valerie had a jug that contained 128 fluid ounces of salsa to put into bowls at a restaurant. She filled each bowl with 6 fluid ounces of salsa until there was not enough salsa left in the jug to completely fill another bowl. How many fluid ounces of salsa were left in the jug? Okay, so I have 128 fluid ounces, and I have 6 fluid ounces of salsa. Okay, so first we're going to start by dividing. So since we're using long division, we're going to write our 6. We're going to draw our little division house. And I'm going to write 128. 128 divided by 6. Okay, so we're starting with our first step, which is division. So first I'm going to see, will 6 divide into 1 without going over? No, that's not going to work. So now I'm going to bring my next number over. We're going to look at 12. Will 6 divide into 12 without going over? Yes, it will. 6 will fit into 12 2 times. Now I'm ready for my next step, which is to multiply. 6 times 2 is 12. Now I'm ready for my next step, which is to subtract. 6 times 2 is 12. Great, so now I'm going to subtract. 12 minus 12 is 0. Now I'm ready for my next step, which is to bring down. I'm going to draw my arrow. I'm going to write 8. Okay, now we've gone through all of our steps, so we're going to start over again. We're going to start with division. Will 6 go into 8 without going over? Yes, it will. I know that 6 will fit into 8 one time. Now I'm ready for my next step, multiplication. 1 times 6 is 6. Now I'm ready for my next step, subtract. 8 minus 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. My next step is to bring down, but I don't have any more numbers to bring down. And also, I know that 6 won't go into 2 without going over. So that means that I'm done. So therefore, that means that we are left with 2 left over. We have 2 remaining, a remainder of 2. So, how many fluid ounces of salsa were left in the jug? I know that J is my answer. 2 fluid ounces. There you have it.
Today we discuss TEKS 4.4. The student will solve with fluency 1- and 2-step problems involving multiplication and division, including interpreting remainders. Remember, you can apply any of these methods when taking the STAR exam. Use the one that works best for you.